Top 15 Mysterious Skeletons That Shocked the Scientific World. 15. The Bone Chapel, Évora, Portugal. Hidden within the quiet streets of Évora, Portugal, lies one of the most haunting places on earth, the Chapel of Bones. This crypt was built in the 16th century by Franciscan monks who wanted to remind people of the temporary nature of life. Inside, the walls and ceilings are covered with the bones and skulls of over 5,000 people. The bones are arranged into patterns and shapes, forming a strange yet mesmerizing kind of art. When you walk inside, the air feels heavy, as if time itself has stopped among the dead. 14. The Church of Santiago Apostol, Lampa, Peru. In the small Peruvian town of Lampa stands the Church of Santiago Apostol, known by locals as the Pink City's Church of Bones. The underground crypt is lined with hundreds of human skeletons, hanging eerily on the walls and scattered across the floor. It's said that these remains belong to local parishioners who were buried beneath the church centuries ago. Today, the sight of these hanging skeletons is so chilling that many visitors refuse to go inside. 13. Maria de Wamba, Valladolid, Spain. In Valladolid, Spain, the small church of Maria de Wamba holds one of the largest bone collections in Europe. Thousands of skeletons dating back to medieval times are neatly stacked inside the walls. Unlike other ossuaries, the bones here are arranged to form artistic patterns, transforming death into something strangely beautiful. For historians, Maria de Wamba represents not only a place of mourning, but also a glimpse into how people once viewed life, death, and eternity. 12. St. James Church, Brno, Czech Republic. Deep below the city of Brno lies St. James Church, home to the second largest ossuary in Europe. The underground crypt is filled with over 50,000 human remains, arranged in perfect geometric lines. Rows upon rows of skulls seem to stare silently at visitors. It's believed that most of the bones belong to victims of the plague and various wars. The atmosphere is both peaceful and terrifying, a silent reminder of how fragile human life truly is. 11. Beinhaus, Eggenberg, Austria. In the small Austrian town of Eggenberg stands the Beinhaus, or House of Bones. The ossuary contains the remains of nearly 6,000 people, including more than 2,000 from the Middle Ages. Each skull and bone has been carefully cleaned and stacked with almost surgical precision. Though the sight is grim, locals once believed that organizing the bones in this way helped honor the dead and protect the living from disease. 10. The Massacre of Otranto, Italy. In the southern Italian city of Otranto, the cathedral houses a chilling memorial to a tragic event. In 1480, the city was invaded by the Ottoman Turks. Over 800 men refused to renounce their faith and were executed. Among them was Antonio Primaldo, who, according to legend, miraculously remained standing after being beheaded, a symbol of unbreakable faith. His preserved skull still rests in the cathedral today, surrounded by the bones of his fellow martyrs. 9. San Martino Ossuary, Lombardy, Italy. The ossuary of San Martino della Battaglia looks almost too organized to be real. Built after the Battle of Solferino in 1859, this memorial contains the bones of over 2,600 soldiers. The skulls are placed neatly in rows along the walls, forming a hauntingly symmetrical pattern. Walking inside feels like stepping into a ghostly library where every skull tells the story of a fallen life. Despite its eerie appearance, the ossuary serves as a powerful symbol of peace and remembrance. 8. Saint Hilaire Cemetery, Marville, France. In the quiet French village of Marville, the cemetery of Saint Hilaire holds a smaller but deeply moving collection of bones. Instead of being displayed openly, the skulls are placed inside small wooden boxes, each engraved with the person's name and date of death. This unique practice gives the cemetery a gentle and sacred feeling, where death is seen not as something to fear, but to remember. 7. The Chapel of Bones, Faro, Portugal. Inside the grand church of Nossa Senhora do Carmo in Faro lies a small chapel built entirely from the bones of Carmelite monks. The walls, ceiling, and even parts of the floor are made of human skeletons. The monks believed that surrounding themselves with the dead would inspire humility and reflection. Today, visitors enter through an archway that reads, "We bones that are here, await yours." It's a chilling message that reminds us that death comes for everyone, no matter how far we run. 6. The Painted Skulls, Hallstatt, Austria. In the Austrian village of Hallstatt, Burial space was once scarce, so the townspeople began a fascinating custom. After a few years, old graves were exhumed, and the skulls were cleaned, bleached in the sun, and beautifully painted with flowers, names, and dates. Most were made by wives or children to honor their loved ones. Over time, this practice faded away, but hundreds of these painted skulls remain on display, a heartfelt and artistic way of remembering the dead. 5. The Sedlec Ossuary, Czech Republic. Perhaps the most famous bone church in the world, the Sedlec Ossuary near Prague is both stunning and disturbing. The chapel contains the bones of more than 40,000 people, victims of war and plague. The most striking feature is a massive chandelier made entirely from human bones, said to include at least one of every bone in the human body. Despite its grim materials, the Sedlec Ossuary is a masterpiece of faith, art, and mortality intertwined. 4. The Virgin Skeleton, Palermo, Italy. Deep beneath the monastery of Santa Maria della Pace in Palermo lies the skeleton of a young woman known as the Virgin. Her remains, along with 3 others, are posed gracefully, holding palm leaves, a traditional symbol of purity and faith. Though centuries have passed, her peaceful expression still captures the hearts of all who see her. 3. Vincenzo Piccini, Urbania, Italy. At the Church of the Dead in Urbania stands a unique figure, Vincenzo Piccini, the only preserved corpse still wearing his original clothes. Dressed in a priest's robe and a small emblem representing death, his mummified body has become a symbol of devotion. Scientists believe that his body naturally mummified due to the special climate inside the church, allowing it to survive for centuries. 2. Saint Pancratius, Wil, Switzerland. The skeleton of Saint Pancratius, found in Saint Nicolaus Church, was originally dressed as a nun, but later, in 1777, it was adorned with golden armor and jewelry. The skeleton's lifelike presentation made it one of the most striking relics of the era. To this day, pilgrims visit to pay respect to the saint, whose dazzling remains reflect the deep reverence people once held for holy relics. 1. St. Gratianus, Waldsassen, Germany. Finally, we arrive at the most breathtaking of all, the skeleton of St. Gratianus. Displayed at Waldsassen Basilica in Germany, this saint's remains are covered in fine garments and decorated with jewels and gold. The people of Waldsassen consider him their guardian and protector. His shining skeleton, resting peacefully beneath layers of treasure, serves as a symbol of faith, courage, and humanity's eternal fascination with death and the afterlife.